Welcome back to C&D Gaming, and we're gonna do the we're gonna do the NFC this week. Let's go. We're on fantasy.
NFC time, buddy. We in our time, our part of the world now, man. The NFC
Oh yeah,
division. This is,
NFC is the best. What's up?
yep. I mean, probably not really, but probably most people argue and say AFC
Yeah.
is the dominant one right now. But you know what? We don't care what those people say, cause
I feel like it alternates, bro. I feel like the NFC was
yeah, it
dominant for a
does.
while. Now the AFC is, and it'll go back to the NFC. Oh shoot!
Oh Lord. It don't help that the last Super Bowl winners has been in the AFC so freaking much.
Right? Yeah, that's true. All
That's what
right,
makes it
buddy. So
hard.
we're gonna do one NFC player for every team who we would want on our fantasy team. You ready to get it going?
I am. This is our best fantasy choices for each team.
All right.
So said drafts have started. I'm gonna start off the game good already. So the drafts have started. So this might just be some good knowledge for people whose drafts hasn't happened yet, or if your draft has happened,
Yeah.
then you can maybe say try to get some trades in for these players,
Uh,
or
let me
maybe
and let
even
me just
possibly on the waiver wire.
let me just say real quick. If you've drafted already, y'all are brave, man, because there's a lot of stuff that happened between now and Thursday night. So
That's true.
I'd like to wait to the last possible, couple of days at least before I do my draft.
Man, I know like some people, man, been like drafted for like 3 weeks now. It's
I
like
know.
God, like
It's like,
preseason, like anything could happen, man. Somebody get hurt.
yeah, that's so early. I don't know. It's risky, but
Well, for us normal people that's already not drafted already, for us normal people that wait until maybe Sunday, Monday before the season starts. Well, this is for you. So,
yeah.
all right, bro, you want to kick it off with the NFC East?
NFC East. So that is what's that? The Cowboys, Washington,
Cowboys, yeah.
New
Let's
York
start with the Cowboys.
Giants.
Let's just go ahead and get the Cowboys out of the way because America's
Cowboys.
favorite team. So,
All right. So the Cowboys, the one fantasy player that I'm wanting from them this year is their kicker, Brandon Aubrey. Uh, I don't know how their offense is going to do. I mean, obviously CD Lamb's really good, but I'm going with their kicker, bro. I think he's going to be the most valuable player for the Cowboys in fantasy.
yeah, I didn't see that coming at all, my guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, solid choice though. Solid choice. Kickers are important. We've talked about that before in some of the other conversations we've had. So yeah, I mean, wouldn't necessarily say that'd be the first person I'd pick, but definitely a solid choice. I'm gonna go with the guy you mentioned in your sentence there, C.D. Lamb.
Okay.
Um, I mean, Dak is not necessarily considered a good quarterback or a great quarterback, or whatever, but the dude is generally one of the top passers in the league. No matter what you want to say about the guy, he's a passing quarterback, and that's going to be good for his receivers. CD's always doing really well. He's over 1,000 yards pretty much every year it seems like. So
Yeah,
I
that's
got
true.
some good bets and stuff placed on him in general and other things, and I feel like he's going to do solid
All
in the
right.
real league and definitely do good in the fantasy league.
Yeah,
Next up,
I
we
can
got
see
the
it.
Giants.
New York Giants.
I'm gonna hit you with a kicker here. Matter of fact,
Uh oh.
Giants,
Uh
man, I don't really know. There's not a ton of people on their team that I really feel good about. I'm not a big like hater on Daniel Jones like a lot of people are, but I will face the fact that he is not, you know, the best quarterback. And if
oh. Right.
he's the person throwing the ball to their not so great receivers, honestly, either, I just don't see there being much going good on their offense there. But I have a feeling they'll probably be able to get halfway down the field, maybe a little more. Kicker will finish it off. That's why I'm going to go with Graham Gano. He's a veteran. He's a good kicker. He's always been solid.
Right.
You can rely on him. And like I said, that veteran presence and stuff is kind of good to look for. I feel like
Oh
kickers
yeah.
are kind of those
No
players
doubt.
that you want to be a little older. They got a little more experience and a little power.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No
So,
doubt. Absolutely. All right. So I'm gonna go with the Giants. I'm gonna go with their first round pick, the rookie Malik Neighbors, wide receiver. Daniel Jones sucks. The other wide receivers they got sucks. Their tight end sucks. So I think he's the only bright spot for fantasy wise for the Giants offense. And so yeah, Malik Neighbors. That's who I'm gonna go with.
that's a good choice. I had uh I had thought about that a little bit myself before I decided on the kicker, but
Yeah. Because
I just
even
couldn't have
even
faith in Daniel Jones
even
enough
if
to do
Daniel,
anything.
yeah, even if he don't, Daniel Jones performs horrible like he always does. Malik being a special player he is, he'll be able to catch the ball no matter how bad the pass is. So she should do pretty solid in fantasy.
All right, bro, that's good. That's a good choice.
Thanks, sir.
Next up, we can move on to the Eagles. Who you thinking about the
Philadelphia
Eagles?
Eagles. I'm gonna go with my dude, man. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts, quarterback. I had him last year. He's my quarterback last year in fantasy. Uh, he's amazing. He can throw. He can rush. He's a good one of them good dual fantasy quarterback who gets you a lot of points. So I'm gonna stick with Jalen Hurts.
Oh, that's exactly who I had in mind too. I feel like, personally, I think their defense isn't going to get better. Everybody thinks they're going to be some miraculous band-aid. They're going to be better again all of a sudden. I don't see that happening. They fizzled out last year. I don't think they're going to be much better, but that's going to lead to Jalen Hurts having to play a lot of catch-up, a lot of hero kind of situations. So I think he's going to, excel with that and rise to the occasion. And I mean, he's already been good the last couple of years, been one of the leaders in fantasy anyway. So it ain't like he's going to be worse or nothing. I
Yeah.
think that he's probably the best player you got to pick on that team.
All right.
That brings
Sounds
us
good.
to the Commanders, Washington. Washington. Um, Washington. I'm gonna go with Terry McLaurin. Um,
Okay.
me and you talked about this a little bit the other day. Personally, was talking about their receiver situation. Like, I mean, name another receiver on Washington. Honestly, people sitting at home, if you're watching this, listening to it, you just think in your head right now, who's another receiver on Washington? And I guarantee you, unless you're a Washington fan, you're not gonna have any idea who they are. Which
Yeah.
is why I'm gonna pick McLaurin because he's a fantastic receiver as it is. And I mean, he's really going to be the only option, it feels like, in my opinion. I mean, they do have Zach Ertz as their tight end, but I mean, kind of getting up there in age and stuff, so you're not entirely sure how he's going to do. So for that reason, I'm going to say McLaurin is the dude if you want somebody from Washington.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see it. And so Washington, I'm gonna go with another quarterback. I'm gonna go with the rookie Jaden Daniels. He's a fantastic scrambling quarterback, and I think he's gonna be kind of just like Anthony Richardson was last year, as far as like being an amazing scrambler and running. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think his passing is a little bit more accurate than Anthony Richardson is too. So I think as far as Washington goes, he's the best option to get the most fantasy points for you.
Sounds good, man. He's a big reason that I picked McLaurin because I do feel like, better quarterback situation
Oh
for
yeah,
McLaurin will be better for him in general. So,
right.
all right, man. We got that one
One knocked
knocked
out.
out.
Oh yeah.
Move on to the NFC North. Starting with this one, we'll start with the Lions in the NFC North.
Okay.
How you feeling about the Lions?
I'm gonna go with a position I don't think I've talked about yet. I'm gonna say the tight end, Sam Laporta. I think he's gonna be a really really good touchdown machine this year in fantasy for Jared Goff. And he's young, he's strong, and he's got good hands. So I think Sam Laporta would be my personal option for my fantasy
Sorry.
pick. How you
That
doing?
man, I scored a touchdown and the freaking lineman was more excited than all was, bro. He was pumped up
Really?
back there. I don't know what's going on, but apparently the Rams suck because we beat the crap out of them. So,
Oh yeah.
but no, absolutely, man. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked there.
Yeah,
Laporta,
you
excellent choice. I mean, I think the buzz around him in general is very positive. Most people think he's going to do really good, and I mean, there's a lot of people predicting he'll be the top tight end next year. So,
Oh yeah. I think
absolutely, if you have the chance to
I,
grab him, I would absolutely go for it.
I think in a lot of the mock drafts we've been doing, he's been going before like Kelsey has been this year. So
Yeah,
that's saying a lot about him.
he's one. I mean, tight end's a tough position. You got a lot of like the good, solid people like Kelsey and Andrews and stuff. That Kittle also that usually are the top dogs. They're getting a little older, so it's time to find that new crop that's going to be the guaranteed studs every year. And I think that Laporta's probably going to fall into that position himself.
Absolutely.
Oh, come on now, come on now. For me, I'm gonna go with another receiver on their team. I'm gonna go with Amon St. Brown. I
Okay.
I like him a lot. Had him on my team before a couple times, and I mean, he's just a very solid player. I think the Lions will probably continue to be a big passing team,
Right.
and hopefully they'll continue the success they had last year. Goff, he's looking good and stuff. So
Yeah.
really, I mean, I'd honestly say I think any receiver on their team would be a good choice, but I'm gonna just pick St. Brown because I really like him, and he kind of stands a little bit, stands a little above the others on their team.
Right. Yeah, I
So
can see that.
I mean, pretty obvious choice. A lot of people would probably say his name, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Go with my gut.
Sounds good, brother. I like it. I like it.
All right, man. The Bears. The Bears. I'm gonna go to another receiver for the Bears. I'm gonna go with DJ Moore. Um,
Ah, boo.
I know.
Boo.
you
Traitor.
went sour on him,
Carolina
sour on
traitor.
him now.
Yeah.
Uh, oh wow. Yeah, Moore. I mean, he did really well last year, and I mean, look at the situation he had. It was not a great team, not a great finish to their season. Uh, a lot of negatives, but DJ Moore still shined and was one of the positives. But
Yeah.
this year, different things have changed. They got some new faces, some new things going on. Obviously, Caleb Williams, he looks pretty good so far, what we've seen. And if
Right.
he continues to play well and does good during the actual real deal season, then I definitely feel like DJ Moore will be his number one receiver. So
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, he's a little dependent on kind of the growth and stuff of his quarterback, but things look
Right.
good. I think he'll be a solid choice.
Okay. I hate that pick, bro. Alright. Nah, I'm gonna go with my dude, my running back, DeAndre Swift. Man, I've had him in fantasy a lot on my teams, and went to Georgia Bulldog running back, so I liked him a lot in college and followed his career in the NFL, and I really love Swift, and Swift's a good, uh, kind of like a dual running back, I guess you would say. He can catch and he can run, and so I think he's got a lot going for him, and I think he can get a lot of fantasy points for your team.
I like Swift. That's a good choice. His biggest negative is that he seems like he's made of glass. So as long as he can stay healthy and stuff,
Hey,
I definitely feel like yeah,
he
he's a
was
good choice
solid
too.
last year, bro. He was
Yeah,
solid
he
as a
did.
rock.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he definitely stayed a lot healthier last year. And I mean, that could have been the
Yeah,
way that he was used and stuff too. When you look back at
yeah.
with all his
And the
injuries and
Eagles
stuff.
has like one of the best offensive lines too, so that says a lot for their line protecting them. But he did
Absolutely.
stay healthy last year, so I was happy with him.
Yeah, man. I like that. I like that.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's talk about the Packers now. The Packers.
Oh,
Who are you
Green
looking at
Bay.
on Green Bay Packers on the cheeseheads?
That's a very hard and interesting situation here in Green Bay. They got four dudes at wide receiver who any one of them could be their wide receiver one at any moment, any game. And I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with in fantasy is trying to figure out which one's going to be the number one. But I'm going to go with the receiver, Dontavian Wicks. I think he's going to be kind of come out and be their one. He was a rookie last year. He really came on strong towards the end of their season last year. Jordan Love seemed to really like take to him and trusted him a lot. And I don't know. There's just something about him. I think he's gonna come out and show out, be the wide receiver one this season, and so that's what I'm gonna say. The Dontavian Wicks.
I agree with part of what you said there, and the part that I agree with is that the fact that you said any one of those guys could be wide receiver one at any time.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I went with the running back. I went with Josh Jacobs. Um, change of scenery for him. He
Yeah.
was solid with the team that he was with, but I feel like he went to a better team with a
Right.
better scheme and stuff that fits him pretty well. So I think that, yeah, I think that he'll do a really good job. And I mean, I don't think that he's pretty much a clear cut to be the number one running back, obviously, and not much competition. Have to worry about any kind of committee situation or anything.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think Josh Jacobs will be I think he'll be the number one player on their team come the end of the season next year.
Yeah, and uh, to carry on what you were saying, AJ Dillon, they ruled him out for all year uh,
Yep.
the other day. So I'm curious to see who's going to fill in their number two running back spot to help him out. But I think primarily, yeah, he'll be a good three down running back. But I'm just curious to see who's going to fill that void of AJ Dillon.
I mean, I hate to say it, because injuries are bad, but that's the big reason I did say his name was because of the Dillon injury. Because
Yeah.
if it had been, I mean, they probably would have split carries a little more and stuff if he'd have been healthy. But since he's out for the season, it feels like there's not going to be a big person to step up. So it'll probably be a lot of relying on Jacobs and stuff. So
Right. I
that's a
got
big reason I chose him.
you. Okay. I got you.
All right, man. We got the Vikings left to talk about.
Oh,
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota.
Um. All right, bro. My
Oh my
choice for
goodness.
the Vikings. I'm
I
gonna go
messed
with
that up.
another running back. It's kind of weird. We just talked about another running back that's changed teams. Aaron Jones for me for the Vikings.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you got the big dudes on the team. Justin Jefferson's the guy, but their quarterback situation is looking a little iffy. So I feel like they might kind of rely on the run a little bit more.
Right.
I've never seen that pop up green like that when you tackle somebody. That was weird. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like there's not going to be a ton of passing opportunities for their team, and they'll probably rely on the run. So Aaron Jones should get plenty of work, and as long as he stays healthy and stuff too, he'd be a good choice for you there.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with the Vikings training staff. I think. Nah.
Go with the
Uh,
coach,
I don't
head
know, man.
coach.
They got a tough shot this year. I mean, McCarthy got hurt. He's out all season, and have to got Sam Darnold for their quarterback one. So it's gonna be a tough break for Minnesota fans this year. But
Every year,
honestly,
bro. I feel bad for the Vikings fans, man. Somebody's always either getting injured out
yeah,
for the year, getting shot, I mean, all kind of crazy
yeah.
stuff. Like they just have terrible luck when it comes to players and stuff. But sorry, go
So
ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
are you good? So I'm gonna just go with their tight end T.J. Hawkinson. He is gonna be out the first 4 games, but I think after the first 4 games he's gonna come back off an injury, and I think he's gonna be all right. I think he's gonna be a reliable guy for Sam Darnold to rely on, and I think he'll get some solid fantasy points.
That's a good point. For some reason, I didn't even really think about him that much, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the same reason that most people ain't thinking about him, it seems like he's also fallen off of the draft boards a little bit. Those injuries kind
Yeah,
of hide people sometimes during the draft because it lowers their point average total expected and stuff. So
right.
he might slip down the board, and you can pick him up at a better time than some of the other players will be available. So yeah, I definitely think for that reason too. I mean, you ain't got to worry about him being super early in the draft. So
Right. Absolutely.
that's a good choice, man.
Thank you, sir.
I think I picked him in my
Flag
my
down.
first mock draft ever the other day. Forgot all about him. I'm gonna hurt this guy.
Oh, oh,
Oh.
whoa, whoa. Holy crap. He's just flipping alone down there. And it's on
It's
the
on him
defense.
too.
Let's go. Heck yeah.
All right, man. Let's move on to the NFC South.
Oh, dun, dun, dun,
We in
dun.
your division now.
My division, baby.
All right, bro. Your picks better be pristine then, because this is your world right here.
All right. I'll try my best.
So we'll start off with the Falcons, the team that I don't know, I
Boo.
guess you hate them the most, but a
Trash,
team that
trash,
you
trash. Yeah,
dislike a
yeah.
lot
I hate them the most in my
the
division.
most out of your division. Okay, yeah.
It
I know
was
you
the
kind of seem to
Saints.
be back
It
and
was
forth,
the
but
Saints, but it's changed. Now it's the Atlanta.
um, Falcons. I'm gonna
Yep.
just go with Kirk Cousins, man.
Okay.
They got some good players in general on their team. I mean, you can make arguments for some other players and stuff, but I feel like without Kirk Cousins, this team wouldn't be nowhere near as good as it's predicted to be.
Right.
We know that he's still got it. He is kind of getting up there in age and stuff too, but he looks like you know, nothing's going to stop him. Um, as long as he recovers from his injury well and he plays well, he'll probably be another year of Kirk Cousins being in the top passing quarterbacks. He's
Yeah.
got some better. I feel like he's got some good options for receivers and good running back and stuff. So pretty solid team all around, and I think that he'll make it even better.
Yeah. I'm with you. So, I hate Atlanta, but for this video purposes, I'm gonna say Kyle Pitts, man. I think he's gonna have the best year he's had since he's been drafted. He's finally got a quarterback that can throw him the ball. And I know Kirk Cousin really likes his tight end. He showed that in Minnesota, And so yeah, I'm gonna say Kyle Pitts, man. I think he's gonna finish. I'm gonna say make a bold prediction, but I think he's gonna finish in the top five tight ends this year in fantasy.
All right. Let's hope so, man. They say it every year that he's going to get better, and he never does. So
I
maybe
mean,
now that he
look,
actually has somebody throwing him the ball that's
yeah,
decent, he'll work out for him. He deserves it, man. I mean,
yeah,
he's had a rough go since he's been in the league, which has not been very long, but it's been rough
right.
for him.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Let's just actually, we'll save them for last, obviously. Let's do the Saints next.
Okay.
What you feeling for the Saints?
Saints. I'm gonna go with old reliable Alvin Kamara. Uh, he's been pretty steady over the year. He is getting a little older, but he's been solid in fantasy every year. So I'm gonna go with Mr. Alvin Kamara.
All right. I'm not a fan of Kamara at all, but I mean, it's hard to deny that he's always one of the best, running backs there is.
Oh
I
yeah,
hope personally that he fizzles out and doesn't do worth a dang at all, and then that'd make me happy. But it's probably not going to happen. He'll probably continue to be one of the best running backs in the league. So
all right.
I absolutely agree with you there. That's a good choice.
Thank
For
you.
me, I'm gonna go with somebody that most people probably don't even know. If they do know, they're not going to pick him. You probably know who I'm going to say. I'm gonna go with receiver Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed.
I just like saying his name. That's the only reason I picked him. No,
Well,
I'm
I
just
can
kidding.
say one thing about him. He's very fast. He's
Very
fast.
fast. He has the potential. I feel like to have a breakout year, maybe. Um,
Yeah.
I mean their receiver options are not the greatest. I mean they're not terrible. They got the old corpse of Michael Thomas is still on their team. I think. I don't know. He's
Yeah.
so old, man. It's hard to say. But I think I just didn't he just is he suspended or he's out or something for at least a game or something that popped up
Yeah.
recently in
The
the news.
at first game he suspended for
Yeah, yeah. So
something
we'll see
violation.
if that doesn't turn into more because he's always having issues of playing. He's either hurt or
Yeah.
suspended or something crazy.
He's
So,
a slant king, man. Oh, slant king right there.
but not talking about him here. Talking about Shaheed. I think like you said, he's a speedy receiver. He can flip the field very fast with his speed. And I think that if he can just kind of get a little bit of trust built up with Derek Carr, which they probably already have, training camps and stuff, they've probably been doing a lot of team bonding, as you will. But I think if all that works out, that he'll be a solid receiver. And
Yeah.
he's not somebody that people are going to think about a ton. Like I said, he'll probably fall very low on the draft boards and stuff. So,
Yeah, that's true. He's not one of them that's going right away. So.
all right, man. Let's talk about the Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay.
Wait, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We still got them in
yeah,
Carolina.
yeah. Carolina, yeah. Tampa Bay, yeah.
Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go with my old buddy Baker Mayfield. Um, I don't know what it is, dude. I just like him as a person, as a quarterback. He's fun to watch. He's energetic and he really cares. He shows you he really cares about it because he gets mad. He gets mad and upset. When they're not doing good. So I think Baker will be a solid fantasy pick and touchdown. I think
Yeah,
he'll
we
be a
killed
good
him.
solid fantasy pick though.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Baker continues to prove, that he deserves to be a quarterback in the league. So, had a good year last year. Most likely, he'll get even better. Um, I'm gonna go with the running back. I'm gonna go with I always say it
Uh,
wrong, man. Is it
go over to
Rashad?
number 83, please, sir.
Is it Rashad? Rashad White? Rashad? His
I
name's
think
weird.
it's
Oh, it's spelled
Rashad.
weird.
Yeah,
Rashad White.
Rashad.
Either way, whatever his name is. He Oh, good lord.
What the world? That circle was huge.
Yeah, it was a terrible throw. Running back though, yeah. I mean, I feel like he's gonna be really good. I don't know. I mean, there's something about him, man. Like he's kind of been he's been okay, then he's been not okay. He's like back and forth, but I feel like he might have the potential to have a really good year. And you
Yep.
know, kind of looking at like I'm kind of thinking kind of like maybe the same thing I said in the other video about about Gus Edwards. Maybe White might be a really good goal line running back, and that's always good in fantasy for the touchdowns and stuff. Might not
Right.
have the greatest year, real stats, but I think fantasy stats, points, he's going to be really well. So
Okay.
that's why I would choose him for.
Right.
Man, I saved the Panthers last on this division on purpose,
Okay.
just so we could talk about them. I'll start off with their wide receiver Deontay Johnson. Um,
Okay.
you know, obviously you're a fan, but it looks like Bryce should get better this year. Not that he was bad last year, but first year is always rough for quarterbacks. Should be even better this year, and got a new receiver with Johnson, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see a scenario where he won't be good. I just think he's going to be Y'all's number one receiving option on the team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why I
I
would say
agree.
I'd pick him for.
I agree, man. I like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick Bryce to go right along with him, man. I'm really 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 excited for Bryce this year. He's gonna be my QB1 in fantasy. Shh, don't tell nobody. This video will be released after the draft. I'm excited for him, man. I really am. He's improved a lot. The offensive line, they went out and got some big offensive line guys to come in and block for him. So
Hey,
hopefully
punt
he
this
should.
back to him, bro.
So hopefully he should have a pocket this year, so he'll have time to pass. So I'm excited for Bryce, man, and it's just ready to get it started, see what we can do.
Absolutely, man. I think he should take a good leap forward. And then another good thing, which I've mentioned with some of these other players, is the draft rankings and stuff. I don't see that he's going to be going really early. So you find
Yeah,
yourself in need of a quarterback, a little later in the rounds, or you want a good solid backup for your main quarterback. I mean, I feel like Bryce is going to be a great option. That honestly, you might draft him as a backup. He might end up being your starter by the end of the year. You never know.
yeah, it's possible.
All right, man. We got one more to talk about here, and we're short on time, so let's move on to my neck of the woods.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about NFC West. We'll start with the team that we're playing against here, the Rams. I already know who you're going to pick, so I'm going to start off. Actually, it's your turn to start off, so go ahead and tell me who you're going to pick, because I know who it is. It's this dude right here I'm running after.
Uh, Rams. I guess I'm gonna just say Cooper Cup. I mean, I don't know. He's just my favorite receiver for them. And yeah, I really like him. I had him in my fantasy a couple years ago when he won the Triple Crown. So I'm gonna say Cooper Cup, man. I think he's a little banged up last year, but I think he's gonna stay healthy and have a good season this year. And hey, Stafford really likes him. So
All right, man. For the Rams, I'm going to say nobody because I really hate on them. Nah, I got to pick somebody, so I'm just going to go with their other receiving option. I'm going to go with Puka Nakua.
okay.
That's a weird name, too. I didn't switch in time, so you're the
Oh,
running
I was like,
back. You can kick it
what the
back
hell?
if you want to. I don't care.
What's going on?
I'm going to go with this guy. I mean, he had a great first year, and, that success might not be repeated, but, I mean, I think it's going to be. Um, Cup is healthy, and he should be back, so it might take a little bit of attention away, but it's not going to be a
Oh yeah.
ton, I don't think. So I
Right.
think he's going to do really well. Let's talk about the 49ers next, bruh.
All right. Who you got?
49ers, I'm going to go with their defense, actually. I know it's kind of crazy to say on a team with so many high, valuable players, but I feel like their offense is just one guy away from kind of being like bad.
Right.
I feel like any kind of injury happens on offense, it's going to be a negative thing. If McCaffrey
Yeah.
goes down, they're going to lose a big player. If Purdy gets hurt, they're probably not going to have much option left for quarterbacks. So I'm gonna go with their defense because their defense is always one that's usually pretty good. They're a solid defense in general.
Right.
And for that reason, I mean, I would say they should continue to be a good defense like they always are.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, I can see it. Yeah, their defense is really solid. I think it's one of the reason they've been making it to the playoffs every year for sure. But for me, there's a lot of options with their offense. Honestly, I mean, they got a lot of really good star players. Um, but I think the clear number one option for fantasy wise is CMC, my dude, Christian McCaffrey. Uh, I mean, he was unstoppable last year. He should have been, in my opinion, should have been the league MVP instead of Patrick Mahomes. But whatever. And but yeah, man, he can catch, he can run. I think he's gonna I think he's going to continue to lead that backfield, and as long as he can stay healthy, he'll be a really solid fantasy option.
Hope you don't believe in the Madden curse, because isn't he like the cover for this game that we're playing right now?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
All right, man. We got two more teams here. We got the Seahawks next. Who you feeling for the Seahawks?
Seahawks, I'm gonna go with my boy, my running back Kenneth Walker. Uh, I had him as my one of my other fantasy running backs last year, man, and he was really solid for me. He put up some really good points. He's strong, tough running back. I really like him, and I think he's gonna keep on continuing to keep getting a lot of high fantasy games because they love handing them the ball when they get in the red zone. So I think Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, that's who I was going to say. I don't really have much to add except for, I mean, look at their team. There's not really many other options that you would want to have on your fantasy team, in my opinion. Not my non-biased opinion, but yeah, Walker's definitely the big player that stands out on their team to me, and I feel like he would probably be your probably the only option I'd really even consider having from this team on my fantasy team this year would be Kenneth Walker. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, man. We saved the absolute best for last. We're going to end it on my team, the Cardinals.
Arizona
Um,
Cardinals.
There's a lot of people on this team, and I'm not just saying that as a fan. There's a lot of people. I mean, I've had the same problem with a couple of these teams of picking one person, but
Right.
for me, I'm gonna go with Trey McBride, and my big reason for that is, I mean, he had an excellent year last year, and that was playing with Josh Dobbs. No offense to Josh Dobbs or nothing, but I mean, he had an excellent year with Josh Dobbs as his quarterback for 70% of the season. Kyler Murray come back, and they already immediately had chemistry and looked really well together. And then also, I mean, you just look at the tight end position overall in fantasy. There's not a ton of people that you would really consider having. Tight ends is a tough position to pick from. So McBride, he probably will go off the board pretty early and stuff. But I would personally, I would pick him over. I would probably say majority of the tight ends. There's maybe two that I would consider picking with him or maybe above him, but there's not many that I would say I would pick before I'd pick Trey McBride.
Yeah, I like that, and yeah, he's it sucks for all the y'all Arizona fans because nobody knew about him but y'all, and then now everybody's talking about him in the world and just talking about getting him for fantasy. So it sucks for the true Arizona fans, like yourself.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll end up where you can end up getting them and everything. So yeah, I like that pick, and I'm gonna go with K1, baby. I'm gonna go with Kyler, man. Kyler is the perfect fantasy quarterback that you're looking for. He's got a hell of an arm cannon and can sling the ball, and he's one of the quickest, probably the quickest running back. I mean, running back quarterback in the league, and he's one of the best dual threats in the league, and yeah, he would be my pick for the fantasy.
Well, I mean, obviously, I like that choice. I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about my quarterback because he's a dude. But I will say, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe the one little small thing would be the injury worries and stuff. But
right,
seems like he's doing fine. I mean, he looks good. I don't want to jinx anything or say anything to turn out to be bad. But
right.
looks good. Everything looks fine. Looks like he's recovered pretty well from his injury and stuff. Because I mean, he had a couple of games to play last year and he looked great in those. So this would be starting out the season fresh and everything looks good. I think he's going to do a really good job. And I mean, he is going pretty quick too. It looks like in the drafts, people are starting to pay attention to him a little bit. But if you have a
Oh yeah,
chance to take him as your quarterback number one, absolutely do it. If he falls late into the draft, I mean, don't even hesitate. Definitely get him if you can.
oh yeah, 100%,
All right,
hundred
man, that's
percent.
our NFC. We took a little longer on this one, a little tougher to do, but
No, no, let me tell you what it was. It was a secret. I let you run most of the game, and so we flew by this one. That's why the other one I
yeah,
passed, and it took
man,
longer.
I don't even know what happened in this game. We destroyed them, bro. It felt kind of good to be honest, because it was the Rams, and I obviously don't like the Rams, but it felt kind of good to bounce back after we lost our other one. But anyway, yeah, podcast listeners, we appreciate you tuning in to C&D Podcast. Anybody watching along with the videos on YouTube, same thing. We appreciate you guys watching. Like we said, this is just kind of last minute before the draft. If you're watching this, just be some good players that you can try to draft. If you've already done your draft, like I said, maybe try to get some trades in for these guys. Or if there's anybody that we mentioned that's still on the waiver wire, it would be really good because there's a couple of guys we did mention that might not have got drafted that you could pick up off the waiver wire. That'd be a good addition to your team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like I said, we appreciate you guys watching. Let us know what you think. If we had any stupid picks or if you had somebody that you disagreed with, that'd be great. Let us know in the comments.
Oh yeah. Just appreciate y'all guys again, like Dustin was saying, and we gave you some really good ideas. Just leave us a comment and tell us some people who y'all like. But appreciate y'all guys watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.